All right, hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to conjugate verbs into the preterit tense. If you're wondering what the preterit tense, in Spanish we call it el pretérito. If you're wondering what that means, it means one of the past tenses. You can't run around just saying past tense because there are two. There are two in English, there are two in Spanish. You have the preterit and the imperfect. I'll talk about what that is in a little bit, but I want to come back up here and just do a little review of the present tense real quick. Okay, so that's why this right here says repaso. Remember, repaso means review, and this is the present. So normally when we come over here, we have our subject pronouns. Okay, I'm writing them on the outside right here. This one, nosotros, nosotras, and then we skip the vosotros form, and then we have ellos, ellas, and ustedes. I'm putting them outside the chart just because I want you to focus on the endings that are in here. This is going to copy. So normally, right, it looks like this. We have all, as, a, almost on for AR verbs. Now these people come over to this chart and to this chart. Okay, but I'm just going to put the endings in here. So, oops, my line was a little crooked. These are ER verbs. We have O, es, e, hemos, en, and then in the last box, these are going to be our IR verbs. So we have O, es, e. They practically mirror these right here. They copy, except for this form right here. Remember, this one is hemos, en. Don't forget these. Those need to go in the files in the back of your mind forever and ever and ever, okay? I know we did the present progressive, and that was pretty similar. We just had estar that we conjugated, and then we had past participle. That's a little bit different than this, okay? So now, ahora means now, we will talk about, vamos a hablar del, and then you're gonna put pretérito in that blank right there. Okay, we're gonna talk about the preterit. In Spanish, there are two types of past, okay? You have the preterit, and then you have the imperfect, okay? So this is what this is gonna translate to. The preterit is a one-time deal, okay? One time done and over. It has a beginning and an end. It's like putting the ed on the end of a word, okay? The imperfect is the other past tense. It's like saying, I was talking, we were laughing, this ing, okay? But the was and were is different from the I am, you are that we just did in the present progressive, okay? So that's why there's two different ones. Preterit's the one we're going to be working with. It's like putting the ed on the end of a word, okay? So use. The preterit tense is used, okay, to describe or talk about an action, idea, or condition completed, and I want y'all to see this, completed ends with an ed, okay? It's done and over with in the past, okay? It indicates the beginning or ending, it should say and or ending, of the action. There might be a specific date, a specific time, okay? A word that's going to trigger us having to use this word now in the ed, with an ed on the end of it. So some examples in English, okay? Yesterday, I jumped. Look, there's an ed. Last night, he watched TV. This morning, we talked. And last week, we worked. All of those in common have that ed. Because you can see these are very specific words. When did this happen? Yesterday. When did this happen? This morning. When did this happen? Last night. When did this happen? Last week. There's a definite beginning and an end. There's 24 hours in a day. Okay, right now that I'm doing this is the afternoon, but you can have activities that you already did this morning. Things like brushing your teeth. You say, I brushed my teeth, right? I combed my hair. Those end with ed. So in English, the preterite tense is indicated by putting an ed, okay, ending, so ed ending attached to the words. There's also some clue words here that I want you to note. Whenever you see these are gonna indicate that or initiate the use of the preterite tense. So go ahead and write these in. Ayer means yesterday. Anoche, noche is night, so this is going to be last night. Esta mañana, just like this right here, is this morning. La semana pasada, semana is week, past week, so this is last week. On this side over here, we have anteayer, anteayer, one word. Ayer, we said, means yesterday. This is the prefix like antes. Antes means before. So this is going to be the day, before yesterday. El fin de semana pasado, el fin is the end, semana is week, past, the end of the week that passed. So that's going to be last weekend. Okay, last weekend. This one right here is kind of open-ended because there's a couple of things that you can put in there. We can say el mes pasado, which is last month. We can also put in this blank el año pasado, which is last year. Okay. Like over here, we have la semana pasada, last week. Okay. You can do that. There's also one I want to add down here. If it's more than one, like let's say it's been 2 days or 2 days ago. Hace 2 días. Hace 3 años. So this is going to be hace plus time. Okay, and that's going to be it has been however much time. Okay. So your endings in Spanish, the preterite tense is indicated by the following endings. I'm going to switch pages so you can see what that looks like. So we're no longer going to have o, as, a, almost on. Okay, this is going to be a little bit different. Let me let this focus. So for AR verbs, now you still have the same people. Those don't change. An X. And then ellos, ellas, ustedes. Okay, so the endings for these are going to look a little bit different. This is AR verbs. Your AR verbs, the concept is the same. Remember, we talk about concepts. You take off the ending, the AR, ER, IR, and then you just replace it with a new ending. So it's going to look like this. You might be weirding out, but this is actually it. So you have e with an accent, haste, o with an accent, amos, and aron. You probably noticed right away that this one right here is the same. The nosotros form is the same in the present tense as it is in the preterite. And you're probably looking at this going like, wait a minute, how come this one is down here instead of up here? Well, we put an accent on it, so that means that it's going to have a different stress, okay? So it'll mean the difference between saying something like hablo, which is I talk, or habló, which is he or she talked. Remember how in the first page we were showing right here, putting the ed, and then we said talked right here, okay? So that's going to be with that O right there, okay? So, este o amos aron, there's accents on first person and third person. For ER verbs, it's going to look like this. Oops, I jumped the gun a little bit. Okay, same people that are on this side and this side go over here. Let me divide. Now this one is going to end E, which is an I with an accent. Iste, yo. It almost sounds like the word yo when you're talking about yourself, but it's third person. Accent on the O, imos, and ieron. Just like over here in the nosotros stays the same. Then iste, yo, imos, ieron. You're going to like IR verbs because this is what you're getting. Cutting this off here. Okay, there we go. So you can tell these are the same endings, okay? So we have iste, yo, this is an I, imos, ieron. So that's good about that right there. So let's remember we're going back to conjugating. We're going to follow these steps. We're going to decide, I changed colors, sorry. Decide if the verb is AR, ER, or IR. Then we're going to find the root or the stem. How do we find the root or the stem? We take off the AR, ER, IR. Remember, that's what we normally do. Then we need to decide or choose what ending we need. That's going to depend on the subject. Okay, so we need to know who and we need to know what type of verb. And then we're going to add it to our stem. So let me show you what some of these look like. I'm not going to do this practice right here because I don't want you to get confused. So let me just show you a couple of simple ones that you'll need for your handout. Your handout is this one right here that you'll see on Google Classroom. So I'm going to do a couple of these verbs and then we'll go from there. Okay, so let me put the notes back. But actually, what I'm gonna put these on the back side. Okay, because we're gonna come back and fill in that other stuff. I don't want you to be confused. So let's do an AR verb and let's just do hablar because that's one that we all know. So hablar, to talk. Now remember these endings that we put over here. Este o amos aron. That's what we're gonna put over here. This is your infinitive, remember? How do we find the stem? We take off this AR, and now we're left with our stem of habl. Go ahead and write that in. Now we're going to take those new endings that I just gave you. Hablé, hablaste, habló, hablamos, hablar. Not going to forget, though, that we have to come back and put those accents. Let me do an ER verb for you. Let's use correr, to run. So it's going to look like this. Because we take off this ER, so we have cor. The concept's the same, you guys. It's just the ending, okay? So corrí, corriste, corrió, corrimos, corrieron. Accents. Concept is the same. What's the concept? We're conjugating verbs. Okay, that's the concept. Hasn't changed. We're just putting different endings. Now let me give you an IR verb if I can find one. And then, oh, here we go. So we'll use salir because you just recently used this one in your speaking thing. So this is to leave or go out. Okay, so we're going to take off the IR and we're left with sal. And then we're going to just put the same endings because remember ER and IR have the same endings. Okay. So salí, saliste, salió, salimos, salieron. This should get you through the handout. I don't think there's any irregular ones yet. I don't think so. Okay, yeah. There are no irregulars. These are all regular. I know you're like, irregular crap. We'll get to that later because that's what the rest of the notes is about. So you're going to want to record these somewhere so that you can look back at them while you're working on this because it's not something that you're normally used to. If you have questions, come see me in office hours. They're every day from 11 to 12. And I hope you guys are doing well. So see you next time.